When you find yourself sandpapering down electrical tape, you might have gone too far. Hopefully this video will give you a little bit of food for thought and a few ideas of simple, cheap and easy customisations you can do to your camping kit to make it a little more stealthy and help you disappear into the wilderness that little bit easier. Now, this is not something that's going to be extreme military grade camouflage techniques. This is me using electrical tape, spray paint and a little bit of camouflage netting once in a while. So we've got the opportunity to actually show this in action and show before and after shots, as I recently bought a new tent, which I absolutely love so far. However, the one downside is it's come with an extraordinary amount of reflective material attached to it. So this is my Night Cat trekking pole one-person tent ultra light. You know what it's like these days on Amazon. Products don't so much have names as they do entire lists of keywords. As I put the finishing touches on the pitch here, and if you are wondering about the hooped bivy bag in the background, we will discuss that in just a second for comparison's sake. But you can see already we've got highly reflective tags on the tent. We've got those really bright yellow cords, which as you can see here also have highly reflective material woven into them. Well, you might think at close range, of course you're going to be able to see that reflective material. However, even at a distance and even with a dim light, because there's so much of this material clumped together, it becomes easily visible even out of the corner of your eye if you were passing and not really even looking for somebody camped up. So with something as feeble as my phone light, I can clearly see those three bright points of light, and I can actually see the reflective cord, although it is much dimmer. To give you context, that's how far we are away from it and how small those should be in my peripheral vision. But even if I was just walking through, you can see with my phone not even facing it, they are shining out like absolute beacons. Just to quickly show you the obvious here, this is the really high-vis supplied cord versus the plain black cord I'm going to replace it with, and my camo spool of cord. But you can see obviously you don't expect the plain cords to be visible at all in the dark, and it's really just showing you how truly high-vis the high-vis is. And as a bonus thing here, the little adjuster attachments are actually glow in the dark. Now obviously you wouldn't normally be charging them up with a super bright light at point blank range and walking away, so they wouldn't normally look this bright. But it's just a little feature. It's really good if you're wanting to use this tent as in a normal sort of way and in a less stealthy way. It's really functional and really good stuff. But obviously to me, who likes to disappear as much as possible, it's the exact opposite. So what I've done here is once again gone to my long-suffering nan and granddad's house to set up the tent in their garden. You can see there's a little bit of muddy ground just by where I'm kneeling down now. That's where the doorway was only last week when I actually slept in their garden in this tent as a little bit of a test without having to take it up into the hills and mountains. Yes, I really am that sad. On a serious note, the reason that I've come here to do my cord changes, at least these initial ones for the sake of this video, is because I wanted the nice flat lawn area, not to wreck with my muddy footprints, but to know that the tent was definitely set up relatively square, as some of the pegs have a direct relationship between the inner and the outer parts of the tent, and so I wanted to give myself the best chance at getting relatively similar lengths when I'd replace them with my new stealth cord. As for these almost extra cords to add stability and to pull the walls of the tent out, I generally view it as a case of as long as the replacement cords are at least the same length as the cords you're replacing, it should all be good. But of course you don't want like a 5 meter long cord coming off it. Perhaps you do, perhaps you're going to have some extraordinary treetop palace tent setup. Anyway, as you can see, something like this, where the peg has more than one cord or one attachment going to it, these are the ones that I wanted to make sure I was getting relatively similar in length. Now, I'm only doing really basic knots here because this was my first attempt, so I wanted to make sure I didn't really solidly lock everything in and then have to struggle and start wasting cord by cutting it all apart. But hopefully you can see from this before and after shot that I didn't do too badly. Like I say, don't judge the scruffiness of the cord and all of that excess that's hanging off it too harshly, please. This will all be tidied up nicely, but you can see that's pretty much exactly what I would want it to be. Now on this particular tent, you can see that front cord is an unusual setup really. It goes from the top down to the ground and then back up to the doors. But even something slightly more complex as that, it really was just a case of basically unpicking the previous cord and then adding all of the appropriate attachments and accessories to the new one. I was going to do a lot more spray painting in this video, and we will dwell on this in just a moment, but that's actually my bivy bag that I'm spraying there, and I was going to do that with the reflective tags on the tent itself, but unfortunately it started drizzling once the spray paint came out. So when I took the tent to my nan and granddad's house and started setting it up there, I had to really just rely on this simple system, which is taking some electrical tape, sanding it down so even the dark tape doesn't have a reflective surface, and then physically covering up the patches by sticking it on. Now, I fully appreciate that by even sanding down the tape itself, I may have gone way beyond what is necessary, but this is just part of the fun, messing around and meddling with these things. It's all just a fun thing to do, at least in my humble opinion, and you can see just with these few changes I've made already, it's immediately obvious how much less visible this tent will be at night, and ultimately, if the end result is positive, it's all good fun along the way to do these things and maybe go a little bit over the top. So if we have a look now at night, you can immediately see the difference and immediately see what you cannot see that you could before. It's amazing what a difference this makes, and like I say, even without doing all of it, the fact that there are those highly reflective bits still in shot, along with the bits that have now effectively disappeared even at close range, just serves to show that for a minimal amount of actual effort and a very low cost, even if you're like me and being lazy and buying cords with the little adjustment attachments on them and so on, the fact that at this point I haven't even tested out my spray paint idea to cover up the reflective tags on the tent itself and just use that electrical tape, I mean, you imagine, even if you wanted to re-string this and add new tape every single time you used it, a spool of cord and a roll of electrical tape is going to be minimal cost and allow you to do goodness knows how many trips out, replacing it all every single time, which of course you don't really want to do. You want it to be as long lasting and efficient as possible. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, and once I've got the other bits done, you can probably tell how this will disappear. If I quickly show you my Alpkit Elan bivy bag, I can illustrate the spray paint idea that I use and the limitations of it maybe. So you can see, first of all, obviously a bivy bag is very stealthy by nature because it's so low profile to the ground, and in some cases they are little more than a waterproof bag for your sleeping bag and some of your kit to go in, and of course you yourself. But the Alpkit Elan itself had a few of these really highly reflective tags, which you'll hopefully see in some of these random clips from previous outdoor adventures. And so that obviously destroyed the stealthy element of it. So what I did the one day, I thought, you know what, let's see if this is going to work. Obviously be very careful when spraying anything on tents and shelters, because you really don't know what sort of chemical reaction might happen, and you don't want things melting or fumes, etc. So that's a disclaimer I'll put in there. It might be best not to do this if you can avoid it. But I put the bivy into a plastic bag, made a small hole to then pull the reflective sections out of, and then just sprayed it with spray paint and gave it a couple of coats over time, and it was really effective. But of course, because this is spray paint, it's not really designed to go on material, going on something that is obviously being scrunched up, put in bags, sometimes got cords going through it, obviously that paint wears away. So you can see here that I had to respray this, and this is when I would have, had it not started drizzling, also done some of the tent as a test. And well, as you can see, once it's sprayed and it's topped up, it's perfect, but it's not necessarily going to last very long. So again, it may be something you think isn't worth the risk, isn't worth the hassle, and you might just want to put a bit of electrical tape in your bag and just put a bit of tape on as you set up every time. Anyway, that's just another possible option. In the past, I have talked about camouflage netting and things like that, which I still just can't believe how effective it can be with literally just a minute of setup time. And camo netting as well is incredibly lightweight and easy to scrunch down and pack away small. But I'll let you have a look at my other videos for that sort of thing. But all in all, I'm really happy with just these very simple, very obvious, very easy little adjustments and customizations. And I cannot wait to show you my invisible tent in the near future when I'm halfway up a mountain, regretting ever deciding to go for a walk, never mind sleeping on a hillside. But on a serious note, hope this has been a little bit of food for thought. There's loads of simple options and things like this you can do, and I just thought, well, I've got the chance of a brand new tent with the most reflective, brightest, brand new bits of cord and strip on it. I might as well just put a quick video together and show you just what an unbelievable difference such small efforts and investment can make. Thank you very much for watching, my friends. Please do subscribe and check out my other videos for loads of random outdoor adventures and gear reviews and things like this. I'd like to say a tremendously big thank you to my channel members, Facebook subscribers, PayPal and Coffee supporters as always. I cannot thank you enough, so thank you for the support, everybody. Please do check the links in the description. I'll leave some links to some of the items you might have seen in this video. If you buy through those Amazon links, I will get a commission, so it's a great way to support these videos if you're looking at buying something like that anyway. And you'll find me all over the internet posting random pictures and clips like this. Until the next time though, my friends, keep it invisible, keep it interesting, have an absolutely fantastic day, and of course, my friends, farewell.